Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us tonight. Thanks for joining us on the Thursday edition of the show. I'm here, me, Adebayo. Well, tonight on the show, we will be talking about the aftermath of the first phase of the group phase of the UEFA Champions League. We'll also be talking about the Europa League currently going down across different venues in Europe. We'll take a look at what is happening here in Nigeria. Topmost is the Nigeria Premier Football League. The Women's League will get our attention as well. We'll also look at what the National Institute of Sports have been doing. Of course, we'll look at that and many other things all lined up for you on the show tonight. And of course, we promise you that we will make it entertaining and, of course, informative as much as possible. Promise to make your day. Well, it's a two-man show. My colleague Austin Okonakpan is suited and ready as we take you along on this ride.
What a greetings to you, Yemi, and of course, viewers from all over the world. Always an action-packed world of sports. The UEFA Champions League definitely will get us talking. You were asking me if Manchester City were going to do just enough to make it, and they did answer that question on the pitch. Also, the Europa League. Loads of action going on across different centers. We will keep tabs with them tonight on the show. The Nigeria Premier Football League, what a story. Remo Stars, they're showing that they really want to win the league title, and Rivers United seem to be making it a lot easy for them to do just that. So we'll wait to see how far Remo Stars can go as regards that ambition. The Nigeria Women's Football League definitely will also get us talking. Look, so much going down in our world of sports. Let's rock and roll.
All right, let's do just that on the show. But first, let's quickly introduce our guest with us in the Lagos studio. Babajide Oreva joins us now. Babajide, greetings to you. Thanks for finding time to be with us this lovely Thursday evening.
Yeah, thank you, Yemi. After a very chaotic Champions League final group phase game, and good to be back here.
All right, very good to be back here. Let's start from, of course, charity begins at home, from home, like they say. Let's start off with the National Institute of Sports. Of course, it's been a celebration. They hosted a 50th year anniversary lecture, and of course, a lot of things were said in that lecture: how to reposition sports, how to, turn things around and make sports go in the direction that it should go. And so let's take some sound bites from that event. We will be listening to the guest speaker of the occasion, Professor Abiodun Moromfolu. He spoke on a whole range of topics, but let's listen to him. We'll come back to speak some more on issues raised.
Challenges facing sports industry in Nigeria. Number one, I will talk of inadequate planning and preparation. Many a times it has been very evident that we do a fire brigade approach to attend international competitions. And thank God that the leadership of the House, Sports Committee are here. I think we need to change that narrative a bit. Maybe with the new development, particularly the return of the National Sport Commission and the new budget that has been allocated to sports as announced to us. I think that's significant, and we need to give the credit to the president who is interested in sports development in Nigeria. Now, when you are planning for Olympic Games, there are two cycles that are very important to us, and coaches can also note that. There's what we call the pretender cycle. Pretender cycle. The pretender cycle is 4 years. Those are the people or nations or athletes that prepare for Olympic Games in 4 years. They are pretenders because the cycle for a podium experience at the Olympic Games is a minimum of 6 years. And that's why the second cycle, which is for 6 years, is called this contender cycle. Meaning before you can be recognized as a contender, For a medal at the Olympic Games, you must have put in 6 years of preparation. And I want to tell you today, except we change our narrative as regard preparation for Olympic Games, the issue that occurred in 2024 might repeat itself. I pray it doesn't repeat itself. Inadequate and late release of funds. Permit me to note that in 2016, during the Rio Olympic Games, Nigerian athletes sadly received their kits on day 13 of the Games. This does not speak well of a nation that is rich in resources. And you can imagine the psychological trauma that our athletes will have gone through. Good enough. After that experience, we have not had it that bad in attending Olympic Games. But I know that even where the funds are available to be disbursed, the funds for sports allocation are available. Early release of those funds to facilitate training and preparation of athletes is crucial to the success that will be recorded.
All right, the guest speaker there, Professor Abiodun Moronfolu, touched up on a whole lot of issues: preparation, funding, the things that needs to be done. And also, he quite rightly painted a picture showing us that by the kind of preparation you have, you already know the kind of results you're going to get. Success or failure is predictable. Just choose whichever one you want.
That's right, because if you fail to plan, you're definitely failing to, you're already planning to fail. Planning is everything. That's the soul, particularly when you're going to the Olympics. You already know it's a 4-year program. So if you want a podium finish, the least attention should be given to your athlete. The lifespan shouldn't be less than 10 years so that you walk your way. That athlete would have gone to 1 or 2 Olympics, gathered experience, and then now, getting ready for the real deal. So it touched on a lot of points, nothing new in that conversation because we always talk about it, the fire brigade approach. We also mentioned, the elephants in the room, which is funding. Look, that is one big issue, and I hope that this new mandate from the president to the National Sports Commission will address that issue of funding. But truly, we should stop being jokers at international events, particularly the Olympics. For instance, all of the lessons learned from the Paris Olympics, will it be implemented for Los Angeles in 2028? Are we certain that we will go and get, something different from the experience we've gotten, even from Tokyo 2020? So, yeah, it is what it is. We're here. Let's just hope that the change will come. But shout out to the National Institute of Sports for using their 50th anniversary to once again beam that light on what we need to do to achieve proper sports development in Nigeria.
All right, Babaji, you listen to me, you've listened to Austin,
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying it seems something's going to change, especially with figures being bandied about, talk about the revenue.
Yeah.
And the intention of the president to ensure that there's a change in perception, change in attitude, change in how we do sports. The recipe is there. Just like Austin said, all these things that we're hearing now is not new. But do you think there will be a change? That's the real issue.
Okay, personally, now we have the NSC. And I expect that now other sports will also be carried along aside football. Now we want to go back to the days where you get the Choma Junwas, you get the Fashubas. In other sports, but now there's funding, no excuse. The president, they've done what they're supposed to do. Even at the last Olympics in Paris, even the House of Assembly also ensured that funding got, but eventually somehow the monies did not get to the athletes. I expect now the NSC, Shehu Diko, make sure these guys begin to prepare, go back to the drawing board. We have the talents. Go to Bayelsa, go to Nasarawa, go to Nook and Cranny of Nigeria. You see enough talent. So I hope now it's just not about the banding of figures. This should translate into performance and silverware for the country.
Yeah. So the steps that will be taken should be highlighted, a concrete plan. Some will say we shouldn't even be talking about the next Olympics. We should be talking about the one probably that's coming after the one you're going to see. So, but we'll see what happens. Wish administrators and the athletes all the best. All right, let's talk about the NPFL. That's our next port of call. In a bit, I'll be going across the screen just to show you the results. Matches played, of course, midweek, Wednesday and Thursday. Then, of course, we'll talk about all of the results. On Wednesday, as you can see right here on your screen, Bayelsa United hammered the Akure Gunners 4-1. Academy Warriors defeated Rangers International 2-1. Akwa United played a 1-1 draw against Lobby Stars. Not really looking good for the promise keepers these days. So, Ikorodu City, of course, I think we can all agree now that they've turned the corner. I mean, they've banished the ghosts of the bad results they were having a while back. They hammered Canopilas 4-1. Remo Stars, a very good game of football, defeated Abia Warriors 3-2. Shooting Stars, they're not flying under the radar anymore. People are taking notice of the guys from 3SC defeated Nasarawa United, and they're in with a shout. By the time we look at the table, you'll see what I'm talking about. Then, of course, the Aba Elephants trying to pick up the pace. It didn't go their way. Played a 1-1 draw with the Naze Millionaires in the Oriental Derby. Casina United defeated Plateau United by a long goal. Niger Tornadoes defeated Kwara United 2-1. And, of course, Rivers United and Bendel Insurance played a 2-2 draw. These matches were played on Thursday, which is today. All right, so this is what we look. These are the results. Before we take a look at the table, I mean, let me allow Austin. Okay, well, the table is here, so let's just. Okay, we'll get to that in a bit. Flashed across your screen. It's the ladies. We'll talk about the ladies later on. But also, let me get your thoughts on these results you have on your screen. And you know me, I always like to ask you if there's any result that was a surprise. I mean, Akwa United drawing at home on the back of the results that didn't go their way came to me as a surprise somehow. I don't know if that surprises you. And Remo Stars getting the results without breaking sweat also. At some point I thought they would cool off, but it seems they're high in the price.
But it worked, Remo Stars, really worked. And shout out to Adedayo Olamilekan, back-to-back goals for him now. He's got a stunner of a goal to, start that comeback for Remo Stars. They didn't know what was going on, and they were 2 goals down. But when he scored that bullet of a goal, it was good, for Remo Stars. Now use that and see ways to get back into it. The moment they started fighting, I knew it was going to be very tough for Abia Warriors, and that's the pin sometimes when you score early goals. You remind the other team, particularly the team that really needs the result, and they need to jump up and start doing something. So Remo Stars, they were condemned to win this one, and this is how to show you want to win the league title. You show character, and that's why they look at this goal. Turn out of a goal by Adedayo Olamilekan. He scored a beautiful goal also in Uyo, and he followed it up now with this, fantastic shot to give Remo Stars that resurgence that they need. So that goal was the wake-up call for them. So shout out to Remo Stars beating Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors, very decent team. They are going to attack you, and that's what they did. Got 2 quick early goals, but Remo deserved to win that one. I did just that. The result that shocked me was definitely Rivers United and
Bendel Insurance.
Rivers United, I think something is wrong somewhere. They are losing focus, because I watched that game against Plateau United. Some way, somehow, they didn't deserve to lose that game. The least that should have happened from Jos is 1-1, but they blinked, and that was why that late goal from Emmanuel Hazelwood, new signing for Plateau United, one-time touch and a bullet into the net, and Rivers United lost it 2-1. That's a very wrong time to lose at a away fixture where Remo Stars were going to do just enough to not lose in Uyo, and Remo ended up winning. Now, after that game, they opened up a 5-point gap. Rivers United expected to win today, didn't win, played 2-2 with Bendel Insurance. Now it's a 7-point gap between Remo Stars and Rivers United, and 6-point gap at the top. So it seems like they just want Remo to cruise on with the title, Yemi.
All right. Babajide, Ikorodu United, at some point there were affairs, but now it looks like they're cruising. I mean, what can you say? I mean, another win under their belt, and I don't think anybody will be talking about relegation anymore.
Same thing, but this team is Shooting Stars. You've not winning 5 games. You have been amazed. Benga Ogunbote has been doing fantastic job. Defeating Kano Pillars in Lagos yesterday. I didn't like the fact that, especially for Ahmed Musa, the captain of the national team, he was there. Of course, Ikorodu United, they are back to their best. I hope they can sustain it in the long run. But however, shout out to Benga Ogunbote. What he's doing for Shooting Stars is fantastic. They've won their last 5 games, all wins. And I know he's bringing 8 players, trying to make sure he gets into the Continental. Anyway, let's just hope for the best this season for the teams.
All right, so you're talking about Shooting and you're talking about Ikorodu, 2 teams that have impressed
me so far.
So far. All right, since Babajide referenced it, let's just look at the table. Just turn aside and let you see at the table. And you can understand why Babajide is talking about Shooting Stars. And on the back of those wins, where they are, even with a game to spare.
Yes.
And so there you have a top 4 in the Nigeria Premier Football League. Remo Stars, Shooting Stars, Rivers United, and El Kanemi Warriors. Remo Stars have played 21 games, Shooting Stars 20, Rivers United 21, El Kanemi Warriors 20. And of course, just like Austin said, 6-point gap, of course, on the table now for Remo Stars. Bendel Insurance, Lobby Stars, Aqua United, and Nasarawa United from the rear. The 4 teams, this is where you don't want your team to be. Lobby Stars and Aqua United have played 21 games, even with Nasarawa United. So Bendel Insurance, maybe with a win, might, get themselves away from that place. And of course, the 2-2 draw they played recently also, they would see that as a good result. So this is what it looks like at the bottom. And Austin, quick one before we leave this. We're about to go on a break in a minute or 2. It's still like 17 games to go.
Yeah.
But if you're a fan or an administrator, your team is here, you should be worried.
You should be, particularly Aqua United and Lobby Stars. I think the attitude they are giving to it doesn't look like they want to stay in the league. I watched the way Aqua United lost that game to Remo Stars. Lobby, they've been lukewarm. I think playing in Lafia really affected them. So now they've shifted base. Let's see if that will count for something. Nasarawa United, beating Katsina United, I said, okay, they've launched their revival campaign, and it didn't happen. Bendel Insurance, I can agree that their only problem is they've been picking a lot of draws, but they've not lost as much as Aqua United, Lobby, and Nasarawa. And today, you can tell that it was a good fight from them. This is a good result, 2-2 away from home. So they need to just give it some extra push to see how they can survive. But it's not really looking good, because if you take a look at the other teams right on top of them, those guys are teams that are likely going to win their games when they need to win their games. I'm talking about Katsina United, Plateau United, Sunshine Stars, Heartland. Look at, for instance, what Heartland did with Eimba, today. You can tell that they are ready to compete. There's Squara United, Bayelsa United, and even Niger Tornadoes. So I've cut it up to the top 10, where Eimba sits in the 10th position. So it's not looking good for Bendel Insurance, Lobby Stars, Aqua United, and Nasarawa United. For them to survive, they need to pick minimum of 3 away wins. Otherwise, they should just start getting ready for football in the National League next season. Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, there's still so much more to talk about, particularly what went down in the Nigerian Women's Football League. So don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. Before we get into the Nigeria Women's Football League, let me join the cricket community globally to celebrate Nigeria's under-19 women's cricket team for their achievements right there at the T20 under-19 Women's World Cup in Malaysia. What a story. Nigeria beating New Zealand and Ireland. Ireland is a test-playing nation in cricket, finishing 6th overall from Group C. They finished in 2nd position ahead of New Zealand. The cricket community, they are in awe as regards this performance from Team Nigeria. So shout out to the female junior Yellow Greens for this inspiring, that's what I would like to describe it, inspiring performance at the World Cup. No one saw it coming. But for the rain and the conditions right there in Malaysia, because they didn't get to play Samoa, that game was abandoned. They didn't get to play England, that game was abandoned. Otherwise, I was so certain Team Nigeria would beat England and Ireland, and then we would have been playing in the semifinals. Despite not even playing that game against England, they missed out of the semifinals by just 1 point. 1 point. Such a beautiful story. Tells you that Nigeria is so blessed a country to just be talking about football, a bit of basketball, and sometimes athletics. This is cricket. And it has been played in Nigeria since the late 19th century. So shout out to the president of the Nigeria Cricket Federation and the board, the officials, the team members for this historic feat. Let's do more. Congratulations, and I hope we keep it going. Babajide, I don't know if you want to say 1 or 2 things for the girls. They got us talking. This is cricket. And now we have announced ourselves to the world, and the world really did feel it.
Okay, so like I keep saying, we have talents everywhere, and now we are back in cricket. I just hope they can sustain this feat for Nigeria. And also, this is a rallying call to other federations. You can see what they are doing in cricket. Why not put Nigeria in the map in each of these sports that you are managing, and then the sky is just there for us.
Yeah, I love it. Beating Ireland by 6 runs, beating New Zealand by 2 runs. Yemi, I'm sure they got you pumped up also.
They did. If just qualifying for this, I had to pinch myself at some point. Oh, did they really qualify? And to get this far, and look, the journey hasn't been easy. We're all celebrating here. Yeah, we should. But of course, it didn't start at this period. I remember bringing the president on the show, and he talking about 6 geopolitical zones, taking the game to the schools, some of the things they are doing. And obviously, he doesn't need to blow his trumpet now because the results are there for everyone to see. Yeah. And I'm very sure they will attract, they should attract supporters and sponsors now. And just to buttress Babajide's point, we can do this. We can be a multi-sport nation. We have the talents, we have the resources to do just that. And look, even talking about the economy, what sports has to offer, I mean, everyone can benefit without, trying to corner things to yourself. Everybody can, there's enough for everybody if we do things the right way.
I totally agree with you, Yemi. And then once again, shout out to the Nigeria Cricket Federation. They had a clear developmental plan. They had an objective of getting young cricketers, 250,000 nationwide, and they launched that campaign. And they've been true to themselves with the national under-17 championships for about 6 years now. For instance, 15 players went to this World Cup in Malaysia. 14 came out of that national under-17 championship. That's the process. That's the base. That's what we always talk about. And when you invest in the grassroots, there are always rewards. So shout out to the female junior Yellow Greens once again, and everyone that was, that contributed to this achievement in Malaysia. We love it so much. Let's do more. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the Nigeria Women's Football League. Yeah, let's do that. I'll go across in a bit to talk about the results. We talked about the fixtures 2 days ago, and these are the results. Again, I'll ask the guys if there are any surprises. Edo Queens, talking about Group A, match day 3 results. Edo Queens, 1-1 draw with Remo Stars ladies. I can't say I'm surprised with that. Ekiti Queens defeated Danas ladies 2-0. Confluence Queens losing to Nadra Amazons by a lone goal. Shell spoils in the game between Heartland Queens and Abia Angels.
when it comes to the ladies, Queens and Angels, that's what you see. In Group B, where you have the heavy hitters, then you know you have to see goals. Well, Rivers Angels and FC Robo Queens were ended 4-2 in favor of Rivers Angels. Benue Queens and Bielsa Queens hammering their opponent 5-1. Niger Rattles and Imbom Angels, it happened that Niger Rattles won that 2-1. Adamawa Queens beats, this is, I don't know, maybe Austin can explain what happened to me. Adamawa Queens and the other Queens 3-0. Bit surprising. But like I said, Group B is where the heavy hitters are.
Yeah, you know, and look, these are still early times, early days of the league, but I love the action. I love the results that we're getting. You know, particularly, I love Oddity. I like what Niger Rattles did the other time. They were in the league, and they seem to want to give us reasons to talk about them some more. I see the big results right there, Rivers Angels and FC Robo Queens. I mean, the least they can do for us is to give us goals, and they did just that, you know. I also saw highlights of the game between Edo Queens and Remo Stars Ladies. That was a beautiful, exciting game of football right there in Benin. It ended 1-1, and that was really a shocking result in its own way because of the form that Edo Queens seem to have shown, you know, right when we got started with the league. They are defending champions. I think they got the lead first from the penalty spot. And then Remo Stars Ladies, you know, got back into it. So see Remo Stars doing so well with their football. We should find out what they're doing right. Some interesting results also. Ekiti Queens beating Danas Ladies. Let's see if that will propel them to do some more in the league. And wow, bye-bye. Also Queens going away to win by 5-1. You me? Let me go to Babajide. Bielsa Queens 5, Benue Queens 1. You think we can see that in men's football in the league in Nigeria?
Okay, so for me, it's still early to predict some of these teams. Of course, you expect Bielsa Queens to actually do fine. However, let's still enjoy them. Rivers Angels. The result that really surprised me is particularly the Robo Queens versus Rivers Angels. I expected Robo to do better, but losing 4-2. However, we've been enjoying the female football. You've been seeing goals. I think the average is even over 2 goals per game. So let's see how it will eventually go, and hope we'll have good representation in the Continental at the end of the season.
You shied away from answering Austin. If we reverse it, can we? If it was the guys,
yes.
If we reverse it, can we see that kind of scoreline?
Funny enough, in the NPFL, right now this season, yes, you can. You've been seeing goals. If you go back, look at all the goals this season: 3-2, 2-2, unlike how it used to be. And now the average score. Average goal per game in the NPFL this season, go and check, is 2.39, meaning they at least 2 goals in a game. We've not found it in a while, and it shows that yes, possibly the strikers are coming back. Atule and Co, they are doing fine. So let's just enjoy it. It can also happen in the NPFL this season. All
right. Okay. So behind me, as you can see, we have the table. I'll just quickly run through it. You can see the spots painted in green, painted red, and you know what it means. After the conclusion of the group phase, you're going to have the Super 6. But let's start with Group A. Edo Queens, Remo Stars Ladies, and Ekiti Queens. If it heads this way, you already know what's going to happen. Top 3 goes through. But it's just early days yet. Like Babajide cautioned us, let's not get carried away with the results. And that team in position 8, that's where you don't want your team to be, because you're going down if you remain there. But again, we're still going to say early days because you have 14 matches to play, so things can change. Let's go to Group B quickly as we can. And in Group B, all right, Bielsa Queens, Rivers Angels, and FC Robo Queens. Like I said, heavy hitters in this group. Then you have Benue Queens in that position where, of course, you don't want your team to be. But again, still have like 11 more matches to play. Maybe there can be some sort of redemption. So that's what it looks like. And trust us, we'll keep you posted, let you know what's happening in female football. All right, let me yield to Austin quickly. We're pressed for time, but we'll do our best. A lot is going on in the Europa League, but of course, we still have to digest what happened last night in the UEFA Champions League. So whichever way you want to start. Of course, some teams have progress to the round of 16, some teams will be in the playoff. Let's quickly bring to you those teams that are through to the round of 16, the first 8, and there you have it. Liverpool, leading the way. Of course, Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Lille, and Aston Villa. Top 8 straight to the round of 16. Then you have the teams that will play in a 2-legged playoff to join up with the remaining 8 teams that have qualified. And you have them: Atalanta of Italy, Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, Benfica, Brest, surprise package, Brest, Celtic, Club Brugge, Feyenoord. These are the teams, of course, that would play that 2-legged. Juventus, the Italian giants, Manchester City, Milan, Monaco, PSG. Of course, you have PSV Eindhoven, Real Madrid, and of course, Sporting Lisbon. These teams, these 16 teams, will play in a 2-legged playoff series, and of course, some interesting fixtures might just be thrown up. For instance, what happens if we see Manchester City and Bayern? It may happen, who knows? Manchester City and Real Madrid. We're used to seeing them in the final, but they might just be knocking themselves out even before they get into the round of 16. So, Austin, this is where we are. We talked about it the other time. Manchester City did what they have to do, but the coast is not clear yet.
It's not clear, you know, and I was listening to some football pundits on radio, and they said Manchester City and Real Madrid, they are still used to the old formats, and that's why they want to go through the round of 16, you know. So it's going to be an interesting game of football, and this format has shown that it can actually be competitive. Let's be sincere. Seems UEFA, they actually know what they were doing when they, thought about this format. We've seen more action. We've seen important games played. We've seen shocking results. See Brest right there, giving us reasons to talk about them. And surprise, surprise, you wouldn't even expect Arsenal, with the way they were having a topsy-turvy season, to, progress directly. But the Gunners did just that. With Manchester City, with all of the crises that they were going through, I said it that on that last day, if they needed to win, they will win. So shout out to Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. And he's saying, look, after that win at Girona, they won 2-1. Good to see Nathan in one area also still doing his thing. Mikel Arteta is backing his team to beat any team that they get, that they get to play next in the Champions League. Let's listen to him.
It's so tough. I think we won the last 4 games in the Champions League, but what you have to do to win football matches in this competition is very demanding. We faced a group that was very tricky and difficult, but overall I think, as you said, the team has been very consistent regardless of all the issues that we had to face, and hopefully more belief in that dressing room that we're a good team and we can face anybody and still perform and win games.
So that's Arsenal's manager, Mikel Arteta, saying, look, hey, we like what we're doing. We're winning games in the Champions League. We don't care. Bring anyone, we'll beat them. But Babajide Oreva, is he bluffing?
Okay, so for me, yes, you see Arsenal topping in the Champions League. However, it's their time. But let's appreciate Unai Emery for Aston Villa. I never expected them to actually go through in the first round already. And I just hope they can, but it's going to be a tough one. Let's look at the playoffs. I likely see Manchester City playing Real Madrid. Maybe not Manchester, maybe not Bayern, but I think Real Madrid. But however, they were lucky yesterday. If it would have been a disaster for them not to go through at all. We should also be thankful that Liverpool, a team that I feel might actually go all the way if they continue with how they've been doing. They're doing fine in the league and they're also doing well in the Champions League. But for Arsenal, yes, it's time to make mouth. It's time to brag. When they face a very strong team, I think they might falter.
Okay. It thinks they might falter. Austin, we still have a lot of people to listen to. Pep Guardiola, for one.
I'm Pep Guardiola. I like how he's getting into the groove now with his team. I love the things he's saying. I think a failure can really be humbling, But with Manchester City, now he's saying, look, we've been here before. A few pitches against Real Madrid is not a problem. We're going to play football and see ways that we can, keep advancing at the competition. Let's listen to Pep Guardiola.
The situation that we have, you have to an option because win the game, and if not, we will not continue this competition, and we wanna go through to have another chance to play another 2 games to qualify for the next stages. So it's not a problem; it's an opportunity, a challenge, and we will face it. It's not personally for me; it's for the club, and of course, it will be not good, but I'm not thinking about that right now. So I know for all the people concerned about what's going to happen in qualifying, I appreciate it, your concern, and all of you to don't qualify, but I'm thinking we're going to do it.
So that's it. Babajide, I know people will say, why did some of the big teams, not go through directly? For instance, we've got Bayern going through the playoffs, we've got Real Madrid, we've got Man City. Would you like to see any of those big teams go against themselves in the round of 16?
Unfortunately, I won't have, but however, it's what it is. And like you said, Austin, now UEFA, they feel this competition is actually competitive, and possibly this format is actually opening the can. You could see Lille also qualifying directly into the round of 16. For Man City, I'm concerned. I feel there is something much more, especially for Guardiola, maybe about the news of his home, though he has not publicly confirmed, but in the last few games, you could see that he's not the actual manager that we know, despite the array of players they have in Manchester City. But however, now they are in the knockout phase. Hope they can actually, but if they can't, then it's fine. Let any other team that could win. If you see Atalanta go all the way, then why not? It's the Champions League. FC Porto actually won it before. Monaco, they've done it, so why not? If Brest can come and defeat anybody, then it's for the beauty of the game.
Okay, we'll see what happens. But I think at some point, the big teams will show class because class is permanent. Well, another person that I'm very sure Austin will agree with me deserves praise. This is we are almost into February, and he's still in all competitions. He came in, people were thinking he's going to struggle. He's not struggling. Arne Slot of Liverpool. At this point, a lot of people say, oh, well, Liverpool has not been tested. I think we should forget all of those things and give the man his flowers. Yes. I think he's due at this point, Austin.
I think so too, but if you want to use this last game against PSV, then a lot of questions will be asked because PSV really humbled Liverpool.
He will quickly answer you and say squad rotation. That's what he would.
Say that again?
He will say squad rotation. Most of the key players didn't play.
Exactly. But it was Liverpool. It was Liverpool.
Yes.
It was Arne Slot's team, But yes, I totally agree. He would say it was resting players. He had already qualified. And look, let's big him up because he has done so well. It would have been very difficult for a new coach to come in and try to continue where Jurgen Klopp stopped. And he's been able to keep the players grounded. He's been able to, manage them properly, even when we were hearing all sorts about Mo Salah's contract. He did a great job in the media. He has stayed humble. His attitude towards winning is, admirable. He doesn't come out, doesn't gloat, doesn't talk out of point. So Arne Slot deserves all of the praises he's been getting. And Liverpool seems to be playing the sort of football that he wants to see. So let's listen to Slot. Slot him on the show tonight.
Like expected, I think. Eventful game with many goals. I think everybody expected that before the game. For 2 reasons, maybe. One of the reasons, I think 2 managers always want to press high, want to bring the ball out from the back. So sometimes you see then certain mistakes, but it's always eventful. And for the other reason, because both teams, maybe mainly ours, was not playing in the setup that we usually do. So then you see in some moments that we defend in a way where what probably is not expected if we play with all of our starters. But still, in the end, we were able to definitely make a game out of it, with all, especially in the end, with all these youngsters on the pitch. So, eventful would be my word to use.
Yeah, so Arnold Slot, I totally agree. Squad rotation added to it. Let's also remember they got a red card too. But Babajide, if Liverpool had won that game, nobody will blame squad rotation. We'll say that they even did it with Team D, and then we'll start praising them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. But actually, that's how it's what it is, and then they are true. So let's enjoy them this season.
We'll do that. We'll do just that. But I also think Liverpool are a team to watch, and it wouldn't be far-fetched to say they are favourites at this point. It won't be far-fetched. That's what I said. I'm not saying they are overwhelming. I'm not saying they are clear-cut. But it's going to be hard to look away.
But you need to give it to
what I would give to Liverpool. They have actually, shocked me. I don't want to say impressed yet, because I know they used to struggle in January, but somehow they have gotten by January with good results, top the Champions League, direct phase and qualification table, and they're doing so well in the league. They're actually the team to beat. So yes, I'll agree with you, but let's see what February will do. There's still so much football to be played. Liverpool, no beef from me. I'm just saying would like to see more competition. Let's get into the Europa League. Some interesting games going down. One is happening in Holland, and it's between Ajax and Galatasaray. Victor Osimhen leading the attack for Galatasaray. Both teams need to win to get direct qualification. At the moment, it's Ajax 1, Galatasaray 0. What happened? Mika Götze got injured and was replaced by, you remember the name, Chuba Akpom. Akpom got in and gave a proper assist to Bertrand Traore to score for Ajax. So Ajax lead that one by a single goal. The game is in the 45th minute, so we're getting ready for halftime in that fixture. Let's see what Victor Osimhen and Galatasaray can do when we come back. 44 minutes in that game played between Anderlecht and Hoffenheim. It's 1-1. Remember, I've got Nigerians in that Hoffenheim team. It's FC Midtjylland 1, Fenerbahce 1. Let's see what's going on in that game between that Manchester United game, FCSB. We used to know them as Steaua Bucharest. Remember that Romanian club? They're now called FCSB. 44 minutes already gone, and it's FCSB 0, Manchester United 0s. A lot of games going on in the Europa League. We'll come back on the show tomorrow to review them, talk about the teams that made it and those who couldn't make it. That's the show for tonight. But I still won't leave without saying congratulations to Nigeria's under-19 women's cricket team for what they did at the Women's T20 World Cup in Malaysia. We're so proud of you girls. Thank you so much for inspiring young girls through cricket. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now. All right, it's a wrap here in Lagos, but I want to thank Babajide Oreva for his time.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Definitely we will.
All right, that's the show today. We do hope you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. One more edition for the week, and that's going to be tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.